You looking to build some muscle, man? That's good. That's real good. You came to the right place. That would be a stupid intro for me to do.
Hey, man! You want to build some muscle? Yeah? That's good. That's real good. You just found one of the best fitness channels on YouTube.
What's up, guys? Justin Morgan here, and today we're going to talk about how many days per week should you lift would be ideal. What kind of category and how can you categorize your strength, and how would that relate to the number of days that would be ideal for you? One of the things that I've used to determine this for myself, one of the things that I think is a good rule, or a good, maybe not a rule, rule is probably not the best word, but a good indicator, is the Russian classification system. I know that Boris Shako uses this to kind of categorize lifters that are intermediate, advanced, kind of in between, beginner, and I'm just going to kind of throw it out there for you guys. I'll post up the categorization chart right now, and you can kind of check that out. If you look at the very top of the chart, you'll see weight classes, and you will fall into one of these weight classes. So these are in kilograms, so you'll kind of have to take, if you're not familiar with kilograms and you use pounds or the imperial system, then you'll need to take your current body weight and multiply that by 2.2. I apologize, it is divide by that by 2.2. You'll take your current body weight and divide it by 2.2. Do not multiply it. And that will basically tell you what weight class you're in. And then as you look down the chart, those numbers that are underneath the weight classes would be totals. And it is a total of your squat max or estimated max. If you don't know your 1 rep max, something that you can do is use an AMRAP set. AMRAP stands for as many reps as possible. So if you pick a weight that is somewhat heavy for you and you do as many reps as you possibly can with that weight, then you will be able to put that into a 1 rep max calculator. If you just Google 1 rep max calculator, that will give you a good indication of where your 1 rep max for any given lift is. So you'll need to do something that's probably between like 3 and 8 reps. So if you do a weight and you can do it for 20 reps, well, that's probably too many. You might as well stop when you start getting above 10, and you should have probably picked a heavier weight, something that was closer to your total. But if you can figure out that, you'll do that for your squat, your bench press, and your deadlift. And then you take the combined totals of your estimated or your actual 1 rep max for those lifts, and then you will figure out what the total for those are. And if it's in pounds that you're doing it in, then you'll also divide that by 2.2, and that will give you your total in kilograms. So then you'll be able to use this categorization chart, and you'll figure out basically where you're at. So the first 6 categories are numbered categories, and they go from junior lifters up to 3, 2, and 1, and those would kind of be the initial those would probably be like where local lifters would be. Candidate for Master of Sport is the CMS. Above that is MS, which stands for Master of Sport. And then above that is Master of Sport International Competition. So the MSIC would pretty much be where, as a lifter, you should be striving to get to. If you're a bodybuilder or you're just kind of a general strength person, you probably won't ever actually, I mean, not that you can't, but it wouldn't be as useful for you to do 1 rep maxes on a regular basis, so you may not be as good at those. But your 5 rep max would probably need to go up. The strength or total strength in that way is a very good indicator of whether you're growing muscle or not. So if you're a general strength and condition person, you're just generally interested in muscular growth and getting stronger, strength is one of several very good indicators that you are in fact growing muscle. Now, when you look at this chart, it can help you kind of determine what your weekly volume and frequency should be. If you're a junior lifter or you're in the 3 or 2 category, then 3 days per week is probably all that you'll really need to do. You'll probably stimulate all of the muscle growth that you would ever need in 3 days per week. And then as you get into the probably the second category there, the number 2, Roman numeral 2, then you'll probably need to eventually start using some type of periodization and programming within those three days. It'll probably be more advantageous for you to move away from linear periodization or just adding weight to the bar every training session, trying to improve. Now, as you start to get to the first category there, the Roman numeral 1, it'll probably behoove you to move into a 4-day per week training system. This will automatically probably increase your total volume or the total amount of sets and reps that you're doing over the course of a week. As a result of that, it will be a better stimulus. You will actually produce more muscle growth because you're doing more work. It'll also make you stronger. Now, as you get towards, you'll follow this probably through a large portion of the candidate for Master of Sport portion, and eventually that novel stimulus that you're now providing that's increased the total work is not going to be quite as novel. So you'll probably begin to add in sets, do more work per workout. So say if during the earlier parts of the candidate for Master of Sport category, you are doing maybe, say you're doing 14 total sets in the week. You're doing 7 on one day and you do 7 sets on another day. They might be in different rep ranges, but you're doing 7 total sets. Well, that's 14 total sets that you do per week. So as you begin to move towards the later stages of the category or the candidate for Master of Sport category, then it might be a good idea to increase that to maybe 15 sets per week and do it over 4 or 5 different days, instead of trying to do a whole bunch of work all on one day, at least if you're a drug-free athlete. Now, as you move into the Master of Sport, or you get to the top end of the candidate for Master of Sport, and you start to increase the frequency that you're actually lifting in, then it would be, you'll automatically be doing, again, more volume because you're adding in other days. Now, conversely to that, is you get towards the Master of Sport international competition, the weights that you're doing are so heavy that it really becomes kind of a different different viewpoint on it. And because if it depends on what weight class you're in, there will be a lot of other extraneous factors why you may not actually want to do 6 days per week training. You might actually need to do less. You might need to do more. You're so advanced at that point that it's really difficult to say, and there's a lot of other variables. But this kind of should generally take you up to the Master of Sport, and it should be your goal to kind of get up to those areas. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it off there. If you guys have any other questions or ideas or things that you would like to hear, please post them in the comment section below. Remember to like, subscribe, and you guys take it easy. I'll talk to you in the next video.
Eat your fruits and veggies, or they will eat you.